I mean, I'll just start this off real quick, and then I'm gonna throw it over to John, let him kind of get this thing started, because I know we had some questions of some people, some stuff that to go over. But for the next 2 days, I will probably actually for the rest of this week, I'm probably going to be out of commission. My uncle was diagnosed with a brain tumor about 2 months ago, and they thought it was this size, and then they found out it was covering the whole right side of his brain, and he's had a lot of complications. And the hospice called the family in today and told everybody that he had days or weeks, and that the family needed to come in and see him. And right now they've got him in Wilmington. But anyway, long story short, he didn't even make it a day. He passed away this afternoon. So I was planning on going down there Thursday, but now I'm going to be going down tomorrow night, and I'll probably be gone through the weekend. Alicia will still be here, so she'll be available if you guys need her. Otherwise, I mean, you can text me or Facebook message me or whatever, and I'll do as much as I can, but she's probably going to be running the show until I get back. But the only reason why I bring it up is not for sympathy, because I know you guys care, and I appreciate the condolences, and it's not that I don't want that. It's just that about 2 years ago, we had like several deaths in our family. And what it reminds me of is like when I say –
it was actually last year.
Was it last year? Yeah, it was last year. My stepmom passed away, a bunch of people. When we talk about urgency and like getting your stuff done and figuring out what you want, like this – things like this remind me of like there's no time to waste. Like, you know, I don't want to wait till we're 60 and 70 years old and then wonder what could have been, what if, when we're all at a point to where we have total control over what we get out of life. So that's the only reason why I bring it up, is just to kind of use that as a reminder. Can you guys hear me okay? Everybody hear me? All right, cool. So John, why don't you open it up, and then we'll go from there.
All right, guys. Can you hear me well too?
Yep.
Awesome. Hopefully I don't break up like that one call. Today we're kind of talking about branding. This is kind of by watching the news feed and the NC Fit Club coaches, kind of get an idea of what we want to do today. And one thing I kind of came up with, we're going to be talking about today is branding, and not necessarily like, you know, we always talk about what's your niche, what's your brand, what are you? But first off, who are you currently? So write these down, leave a lot of space in between, because this is more of a homework assignment for you to move forward. So who are you, right? What's your family look like? You, like me. I'm a husband, I'm a son, I'm a grandson, I'm a teacher, I'm a coach, I'm a Beachbody coach, I'm a friend. Now, those are 7 different capacities of who I am. You know, what are your hobbies? What do you like to do? What makes you, you? You know, again, just looking back on me. I'm highly educated. I have a great marriage. I love playing video games. I'm a gamer. Like, I'm looking at that PS4 headset right now going, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I need your PSN name, buddy. Anyways, we'll get that later. You know, I like extreme sports. These are all things. These are all things that are encompassing who I am. So first off, you can't know where to go if you don't know where you're starting. So who are you? And think about all these different things, your job, just anything you think of that makes you, you, write that down. Now, all the time we talk about, we talk about finding our branding. Again, now this is more business related, okay? Who do you want to be in this business? You have examples. You can see different people, or you go, you know what? I like this. I don't like that. I want to incorporate this. I want to do something different, and I want to go that direction. You know what? That's fine. If that's what you want to do, who am I to tell you no? I can tell you that there have been people that have done things and they've had more positive results, or they've had more negative results. And we can help guide you along the way in case you're hitting roadblocks. But where do you want, or who do you want to be? Okay? And that's kind of a clarity statement. Who do I want to be? I want to be John Monroe, 10-star diamond extraordinaire. Todd comes to me to ask questions so that I can guide him on his correct path, right? That's a very arrogant statement. But what is it you want to be? How much money are you making? How many coaches do you want to help lead to change lives? Or is it how many customers do you want to help change? Just all this. Who do you want to be? Whatever that clarity statement is. Okay. Next, we're going to have activities to get there. Now, I don't know what the activities to get to who you want to be are, because I'll let you know, all of us want to be someone different, which is why it's great to be individual. So have down activities to get there. What things are you going to be doing daily that are going to promote you forward to achieve who you want to become? Because that's the thing we talked about. Oh, if you saw the post earlier today, I brought up a book. I think it's People by You. It's by Jeff Blunt or Jeff Blount. Anyways, it's one of those two. The guy has a 3 series of different books. People by You, People Find You. I don't know. It's that. Oh, we can put up the link later. Train of thought is gone. Activities to get there, who you want to be, who you are in this. Okay, so in this business, who do you want to become? People by You. I totally lost my train of thought. We could build off from there.
You mentioned this morning about what Chad, or you referenced what Chad and Derek were talking about.
Yeah.
Pickup Coaches page. Well, I'll just.
That's right.
There while you think about it. Because it is one of the things that you guys asked today, and John brought up a very good point in his post, and so did Megan, about that book, by the way, that he's talking about, People by You, is an amazing book, because it really teaches you to understand that you guys should look at Amazon and Craigslist. Well, not Craigslist, because Craigslist and eBay are usually illegal. But you should look at Amazon and the infomercials and whatever other examples you guys gave of things you felt like you were competing with. You've got to look at that as just another coach. It's no different than another coach. Amazon, you've got to figure out, and what we're talking about tonight is you've got to figure out what makes you stand apart from everything else. Why should they buy it from you instead of from me or from John or from Amazon? Because it's, the product's the same, the prices are the same, everything's the same. The only variable in the equation is you. And when you read that book, it talks about how to sell you, which is why when we talk about forming in the past, when you're forming somebody, it's why you don't talk about the programs. It's why you don't talk about the challenge pack specials. It's why you ask them the questions, because you're selling your interest and in what you bring to the table and your support and your concern for them. And it sells you as somebody that really cares. And that's the difference maker between you and Amazon. And I'm going to tell you right now, the sooner you learn this lesson, the better off you're going to be. Craigslist and eBay and Amazon and the payment plan that Beachbody offers, if you continue to let that bother you, you are going to drive yourself crazy. Because I used to literally hunt down everybody on Craigslist, send all the emails into compliance. I did that whole thing. I know Chad does it. I know that a lot of you do it. And look, if you got time and you spend 5 seconds here and there to do that, great. But if you sit there and get worked up about it, I'm telling you, it's never going to change. So you might, and it's funny, the sooner you ignore it and forget about it, the sooner it quits becoming an issue in your life. Like, I can't tell you the last time I've dealt with anybody that's told me they bought it off Craigslist or Amazon, because I just don't even think about it anymore. And it's like, once you let that go.
That's a good point right there.
It disappears.
That's a good point right there, because, you got to focus on in life what you can control. I can't control other people posting up crap in the world. That is a waste of time, because it's going to keep happening. People are going to find a way to scam, get ahead. That's always going to happen in life. I can't change that, but I can change how I'm going to improve myself. Again, why we talk about so much about reading personal development, listening to personal development. Again, if you're not looking in Success on Demand in our online office, you're just wasting money, because there's so much content there. To go on top of what I was continuing from earlier about the post today was that, when you're comparing this and that, how you got to stand out for you, because people are interested in you. People literally buy into you. What makes you so different? What makes you so great? What interests, what hobbies, what characteristics make you interesting to someone else? It's different. And I'll just be honest right here. Todd and I, back in the day when I started coaching, our videos, our YouTube videos were very similar because that's who I was learning off of. I was learning off of Todd how to do stuff. And Todd and I have had probably 4 or 5 times that at least we are aware of that there were coaches trying to decide between him or I that we had no clue about. And then in the end, they chose one of us. And then we go back and forth and go, oh, I didn't know you guys were on the same team. Because again, we are individuals in this business. You don't know how many times that's happening. Someone's looking at, oh, what about this video? If this is just YouTube example, why is it this person doing this way? Why is that person? Why is it? Well, Todd looks taller than that John guy, and I'm 5'9", so I think I might want to go a little taller because I like taller people. Who knows what it is the reason why someone likes someone else, okay? Is it your honesty? Is it, you're the crazy person, dropping F-bombs, which I'm not because I saw kids somewhere in this video scheme here. But it's those little things that your life, who you are, not just I'm doing a workout review today. It's those little things about you that's going to intrigue other people because making yourself more, lack of better words, more human, more relatable is what's going to attract them to you. And one thing I'm going to add while we do this is we get a lot of information all from the same sources. Over 100,000 people learn something from Chalene Johnson, for example, because it's so prevalent. This is how she does things. This is her social media plan, blah, blah, blah. And you will see so many similar posts in the same day if you watch Beachbody coaches in general. But here's the thing. We could do the same post, the same picture or something like that, but it has to be individual. So if there's a picture of a sunset and you have some motivational caption on it, make sure it's not the same as what Todd's doing or what I'm doing, what Ryan's doing. It's got to be different. And then if it's the same words, it better be a different picture because you're looking at making the individuality to inspire, to motivate, to intrigue others about your uniqueness. So that's kind of what I want to talk about, what you guys can think about, because again, it's not like, all right, ready? Who am I? Where do I want to be? I got to do X, Y, Z. I'm done. It's a little more than that. How are you going to roll it out? How are you going to promote yourself once you decide who you want to be? What books are you going to be reading? What daily tasks are you going to be doing? Is it a major decision? Is it a little decision? What is it that's going to make those changes? So that's what I had. Do you have anything else to add in here, Todd?
I have something to add to the whole Craigslist eBay thing because I know this has been brought up before, but just because that person already has a copy or they bought it from Craigslist or they got it from eBay, don't write that person off by any means. Like have them go, you know what? That's great that you already have the program. How about I get you to sign up for a free account under me as your coach? Let me put you in a group and let me help you through the program. And you never know what's going to become of that. The 3-day refresh, supplements, another program once they finish that one, because at that point you have helped them. They see the value in you and they're more likely to buy it from you. I can tell we've hardly had anybody who's been in a challenge group of ours buy a program and then later tell me that they bought it off Craigslist or eBay. It doesn't happen. Like they're not doing that. We'll initially get those people that already have the program or who have already bought it from Craigslist or eBay, but yeah, don't write that person off by any means. And then that's where you become valuable to them and they see the value in your coaching. So when you suggest Shakeology or you're handing out a sample of E&E or Shakeology, then they're more likely to get it from you than to go and buy it from Craigslist or eBay again. So that's just, I know we've said that a lot and sometimes you just need to hear it multiple times or hear it in a different way, but definitely don't. I mean, we get people all the time that already have a program.
So
yeah, definitely.
All right, so now let's jump into, can you take that bone away from her? She's long.
Here, let me show this to you guys real fast because I had it wrong. It's People Follow You by Jeb Blount. And there's People Follow You, People Buy You, People Love You. There's a whole series.
All right, so let me show you guys. I'm trying to get the dog out of here. Go on, Heidi. Here, let me just grab this bone. Out. I'll shut that door so she won't come back in. So I'll do this. We'll cover a couple of things, and I'll do some screen sharing and show you guys some things because if we're talking about branding, I think we need to definitely talk about social media. Megan asked about some of the way we come up with promotions and things like that, and I want to show you guys a couple of things. I want to show you guys a couple of things that that you can use to help. Number one, if you notice, I'm wearing an NC Fit Club shirt. I just got this today. There is a company called Spreadshirt, and I'll show you. Let me do a share screen. Let's see, desktop. I'll show you this company that you can check out. Actually, I'll just go here real quick and I'll show you. Basically, there's a company called Spreadshirt.com, like spreadsheet, but it's Spreadshirt. And like we've got it set up on our website now. So like these are all NC Fit Club gear. I got to get that bottle turned around, but this is I think this is the shirt I'm wearing. And then you can do backpacks, you can do hats, you can do women's shirts, you can do sports bras, you can do baby onesies, which I didn't do the baby onesies. Sarah did those. I don't know why, because I don't see those selling, but whatever. Mug, iPhone covers. Here's the women's shirts. And these are like American Apparel, Gildan, you name it. Like these I got to get one of these hoodies because these hoodies are sick as hell. But anyway, you name it, they've got it. And all you have to do is upload your logo. If you've got your logo on there, then you can just upload it to the website and you can design whatever you want, however you want it to look. You can change the colors of the logo. So like on this one, I did white and silver. You can do red. I mean, you can do any color you want. And it took about a week to get these shirts and a couple of things. And like the iPhone 6, well, that's a 6 Plus case that I had made so that when we're taking pictures and I'm holding it up, people see the logo. I think that's a part of branding that we finally are starting to get into because I think when you're out there, it's good to wear the logos of the programs, but I also think whether you go through John Baird, who's our screen printer that has the size logo and stuff like that, I think if you have him do stuff, I think you should incorporate at least your name or your website into that. And then I also think you should have some of this stuff because I think it'll get to the point to where you'll want some of your own branding so that helps build your brand if you're out somewhere and people are talking to you. The biggest lesson that we learned about branding, and it ties in with what John was talking about, was one of the first times that, and I've told this story before, but some of the new coaches haven't heard it. One of the first times that Sean was here at the house, this is really kind of a defining moment for us, is when he sat down and he was like, bring your laptop, I want to look at something. So we give him the laptop and he pulled up our website, which was completely different than it is now. And it's probably getting ready to get changed a little bit again because we're having some issues with the speed of it. We're going to simplify it. But he was looking at our website and he's like, I look at your website and I don't really know who you are because it was nothing but Beachbody, Challenge Pack sales, this and that, whatever was on sale. You go to our Instagram, you go to our social media, any of the Facebook, everything was Challenge Pack this, Challenge Pack that, inspirational thoughts, 21-day fixed containers, shots of autumn, shots of this, shots of that. And people just weren't engaging with it. And you could tell by the number of likes that we were getting. And Sean went through our Instagram and he was like, okay, he would pull up a shot of like a Challenge Pack special. And like maybe it had 6 likes. And then he'd pull up a picture of us doing something, or I can't remember an example, but he'd pull up an image of us actually doing something in real life that showed us in real life. And it had 2 to 3 times the likes. And he was like, do you see what I'm talking about? He's like, go by what you're getting likes on. If you're not getting likes on something, quit doing it. He's like, this stuff right here, people don't care about. It doesn't tell them who you are. He's like, your social media needs to be a window into your life. Like it needs to, like this whole thing with my arm. Like for the last 3 weeks, I've been dumb enough to not go to the doctor. And then I go and I've got a fracture in the bone right here. And it's like, so I talked about that on social media. This is actually funny. I called my mom yesterday when I left the doctor's office. And I said, hey, I forgot to tell you, but a couple of weeks ago I hurt my arm. And she goes, oh yeah, I saw it on your videos. I was like, oh, so like my own mother watched my video and knew about my arm before I told her. So like people comment and they buy into that because they're following you and they feel like they're a part of your life and they're on the journey with you, and vice versa. The people that are engaging with you, you need to engage with them, because that's how you get to know each other through social media. So that, and I was telling this to Adrian this morning, so that when you do post something like a test group or a challenge group or whatever, people don't see it as you being salesy. They see it as this real person that they like and follow. Actually, they're like, oh, okay, well, I like John. Like, this guy's cool. I've been following him. So, like, I want to be a part of his challenge group. And you need to put your, like, when we talk about real life, put your struggles on there. Like, this is my arm. Like, I'm seriously concerned about how much, and I know this sounds stupid, but this is a guy thing. I pride myself on upper body strength and the things that I've worked up to. So, like, I'm really nervous about how much muscle I'm going to lose between now and when I can do stuff. Like,
Sean could probably tell you.
I go to the doctor literally the day before we go to Summit. So, like, I'm praying that if I'm really, really good over the next 3 weeks, that I get to go to Summit and actually do the things that I'm supposed to be able to do, because I'm supposed to be on stage with Sean during the Max 30 workout. But if I can't do push-ups, I can't be on stage. So, like, I'm babying this thing to make sure I don't mess it up. But, like, talk about your struggles and your concerns. 10%? Oh, shoot. That's a lot.
It plateaus a little bit, but roughly 10% immediately.
That means I can't wear sleeveless shirts. I'm going to look like chicken arms in 3 weeks. I'm kidding. But talk about
Don't have abs.
Yeah, talk about your struggles. Like, find things that people can relate to. Talk about your hobbies. Talk about things that you do. It was funny when my dad and I did that Hobie Cat Regatta a couple of weeks ago. It was interesting to see the comments. Like, people in our challenge groups were like, oh my God, I love how active you are and how you do all these different things. Like, you need to show them that there's more to you than just Max 30 workouts or size workouts or whatever. The other thing that I was going to encourage and show you guys, because Adrian and I were talking about this morning, and it's actually something that we used to do and now we're getting back into it. And this is something that you can use one of two ways. If Adrian asked me a question this morning, he was like, how did you guys build this thing when you had full-time jobs and you were working it and all this other stuff? And I had to remind him, I'm like, think about this. When we first started, we didn't have challenge packs. We didn't have Shakeology. We didn't even have Insanity. Like, all we had for a monthly recurring product was the P90X vitamins and the recovery drink, and that was it. Like, when Insanity came out, that was like a Christmas present. It was like the best thing since sliced bread. And like, we and John remembered, we got like one, maybe two programs a year. Now we're getting them every quarter. And so it's like, you guys that are newer coaches have more tools and more opportunity and more resources to grow this thing faster.
And on top of that, corporate gives you kind of schedules that hint to things now, versus they used to keep shit so locked up it was ridiculous. It'd be like, oh, nothing's happened, but everyone knows shit filmed 6 weeks ago, and all of a sudden, hey, in 2 weeks it's coming, and you're like, well, how am I supposed to plan and prep for things? But you guys know Sizes is coming out for about 4 months, and there's going to be a September release of something, and then a December release of something, which you'll find out at Summit this year. And then at Leadership, you'll find out what's coming out for Christmas, and so on and so forth. Like, there's no reason not to have a plan for a whole year or at least 6 months.
And I'll go ahead and tell you guys this now, inside information, but just keep it between us. I mean, it's not really that big of a secret. Don't worry.
It is.
No, it's not. You don't even know what I'm going to say. What am I going to say?
I don't know.
All right, then.
Say that. We should say it.
Sean told me today that he's getting ready to film another 4 or 5 size workouts. And 2 of them are going to be for the DVD set, like a continuation of the DVDs. And it'll be an extension of the library, like Gamma for T25 or whatever. And then there's going to be 2 of them are going to be for on demand, specifically just for on demand. So there's already new size workouts getting ready to get filmed. Hopefully, I think they're going to be put out later on this year. So, like, by the time size comes out this summer and people run through it for a month or 2 or maybe 3 months, by the time they're getting tired of it, the next ones are probably going to be coming down the line and ready to pick up on it and add to the library, which I think is phenomenal. But anyway, so back to what I was saying, to build your local market and to connect with people that have common interest in you or as you, there's a site, and I'll show it to you. It's called Meetup, meetup.com. And if you're going to host a fit club or a group workout, this is an amazing way. How can I get this off the screen? I can't see anything. I want to hide that. There we go. If you go to meetup.com, you can see, like, I just started this up again because I'm putting our Monday night workouts on there at the dance district. But like, let's say, let me sign out. Let's say I'm one of you guys. Let me log out. And let's say somebody give me a city. John, what's your city?
Fresno.
Fresno. I don't want that. I don't want Fresno. Okay. Did it find it? Did I do it? Did it change it?
Yeah. I mean, those are stuff nearby.
No, these are? All right. So, like, if I do a search for, I doubt there's any Beachbody coaches doing it, but I'll try it. If I do, none. If I do.
I think there's 2 Insanity in the area.
Yeah, there's a Team Jab Fitness Boot Camp. So if I click on it, it tells me about it, and it's probably a Beachbody coach holding an outdoor workout. Looks like they do some stuff on the beach. Let's say you're into mountain biking, or let's see.
Yeah, because I'm right next to the Sequoias and Yosemite.
Yeah, so there's North Fresno cyclists, there's adventure junkies. I mean, there's people out here. So like, if I go back to Charlotte, like if I'm in Charlotte and I'll show you how crazy is stuff. I'm going to, Alicia. Just give me 1 second.
Sorry.
So in Charlotte, if I type in, let's say I'm into, watch this, because I know this is on here. There it is. Charlotte Ghost Hunter Trackers, Carolina Paranormal. Let's say I'm a coach that happens to be into this crap, which is not crap. It's actually it intrigues me a little bit. But this is a great way to go find other people like you to start building relationships and finding people that have common interests, so that when you do build that relationship with them and you get to know them, you have something in common from the get-go. If you're a girl and you're into let's say, watch this. Even quilting. There it is. Good Stitches Charlotte. Somebody give me a topic, just a random topic that you're into. You'd have to unmute yourself. Kayaking. Boom. There's look at, there's all this. I mean, there's ton, like, it's ridiculous. Like there's watch this, because I told Gina did this. Single moms. There's single moms by choice. There's parental groups. There's lesbian moms of South Charlotte, uptown Charlotte working moms. I mean, if there's all kinds of, if I just type in women's, it'll pull up all these women's groups: Charlotte Dynamic Women, North of Charlotte Women's Social Group, Independent Women of Charlotte. I mean, if I do gay and lesbian, if I'm a gay or lesbian coach, there's just all kinds. Charlotte Gay Republicans, does that even exist? That almost sounds like an oxymoron. Sorry, I shouldn't put my political view out there, but I'm just surprised that there's Republicans. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. I think it's funny. It's ironic. But anyway, so my point is that with Meetup, there is no excuse to not find other people to add to your warm market and add to your list and grow people. So like when I hear coaches say, "Oh, I can't find anybody. I don't know who to talk to." There's a great answer.
And there's also Facebook. You can do the same thing with Facebook.
You can do the same thing on Facebook. The thing I like about Meetup is that it's local and it's face to face. Facebook groups are fine. I'm not discounting Facebook groups.
I mean, you didn't let me finish.
Go ahead.
Saying like Facebook groups in those that might have a Meetup group.
Go ahead. I'm reading something from my cousin.
No, that's all.
Go ahead.
That's all.
Finish what you were saying.
That's it.
I didn't hear it. Say it again.
There are Facebook groups that have Meetup groups too, where you can join the Facebook group and hopefully build relationships in there too.
Yeah.
But I do agree face-to-face is probably better. But if you don't have the time to go and meet these people, then you could do the same thing on Facebook, is all I'm saying.
I would do both. I mean, I would definitely do both. Because if you're somebody, if you live, but I'm just saying, if it's an interest of yours, it's something you're probably making time for.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
like, if you're into kayaking and you're going to be going kayaking anyway, why not go kayaking with a new group of people and build relationships? And then you can invite them over to your house to work out. You can invite them to a fit club. You know, over time, you don't want to be the guy that shows up at the first meetup and you're like, hey, everybody, I'm Todd. We're having fun kayaking. Hey, anybody want to join my challenge group? I got this great program. It's on sale for $140. I mean, you don't want to be that guy. But, I mean, be smart about it. Inform the people. And then kind of work your way in. And then it's no different. Ryan's a perfect example. Ryan was somebody we met through spiders because we rode spiders. And then we built a relationship with him, and here he is. There was something.
I'll add one real fast, too.
Yeah.
And I'm pointing this towards Chad since he's got a PlayStation headset. I've been doing this with people I've been playing a couple games with. And once I get to know a little bit about them, I'll friend request them on Facebook to say, yeah, you know, in case you want to play at a certain time and I'm not on, hit me up and maybe I can do it. I've been doing with that. And I got about 4 people right now that I'm building those relationships, and a couple are in New York, a couple are 3 hours away from me. But again, it's something I never thought about doing. And just because we can chat when doing different stuff, it's just turned into that way now. So kind of cool too.
That's awesome. One other question that we had, and then we can open it up, and you guys can ask us whatever you want. Megan and Carrie were asking about how we come up with the promotions and the contests that we do. And honestly, we just kind of sit there and brainstorm and try to think of something like this month. And remind me to say something about Summit. This month's contest is not going as gangbusters as last month did. Like in May, we did a Money May challenge where we said you had to buy a challenge pack, or you at least had to buy Shakeology on demand. And then you went into this group, and we had just those people. Like, they were in a group with 100 other people, but only those people that were on this list were in the drawing for $100. And all we said was, from the beginning of May to the end of May, you take a picture at the beginning of May and you take a picture at the end of May. It's a 30-day challenge, and whoever gets the best results is going to win the $100. And what was funny about it was, how many people did we have do that?
We had I think I had 6 or 7 on the list.
So we had 6 or 7 people. So that's 6 or 7 people that got us to 10 Success Club points. You follow me? So like 6 or 7 is not a lot, but that was our Success Club 10. We ended up with like 14 points.
No, I think you may have just had 10 or 12.
10 or 12. I think we had 12 points.
What month is this? June? No, you had 10.
Yeah, we had 10 points out of it. And then
actually we ran it in April for May. So May, I think you had 12 points.
Yeah, so we ended up with 12 points. And then what was funny about it was everybody was into it, but only one person actually did the challenge. And it was submitted pictures. And now, when we were very clear, we're like, in order to win the money, you have to do a day 1 picture and a day 30 picture, and you have to participate in this challenge group.
And I contacted those people every week. I sent them a personal message from me, followed up with them, commented on their stuff. Like, I was like, hey, how's it going? Just checking in with my Money May challengers. Want to see your progress? Are you seeing results? And at the end, when I messaged everybody, I was like, all right, Money May challenge is over. You know, submit me your pictures. Most everybody responded back, well, I didn't win, but I did good. And I had too many reunions and weddings to go to, but I'm back on track now. So, I mean, it was, at least they stayed engaged. They did try to stick with it.
And like, so this month we're doing a thing where anybody that buys a challenge pack or whatever, same qualification, goes into a drawing to win a copy of Size. So we're just going to draw a name out, and when Size comes out, we're going to give them a free copy. I think with the on-demand challenge pack, that's an easy sell because it's the same. It's always $140. It's got a lot of value to it. It's $10 more in the bag of Shakeology, and it's an easy to me. That's kind of like our fallback challenge pack. If we can't get them to do the 21-day fix or max 30 or whatever else we want to do, then on demand is kind of it covers everything. It gives them a lot of options. But you just got to keep, when you're doing promotions and contests, you just got to make them fun, and you just try to be creative. And if it's something that you've done before, then change it up. Try to make it different each time. We do Fun Fit Fridays where we each week we do a contest, and I'll be honest with you, it's hard to think of contests every week. And sometimes it's a challenge to come up with like the craziest push-up in public or whatever. But like, now that we've got this NC Fit Club gear, like we might do a contest to where like, hey, in the next coming weeks, you might want to go get an NC Fit Club shirt because it's going to be a part of a contest coming up. So then we get them to buy the shirts from us, and then we'll have them go out and do something wearing an NC Fit Club shirt in public or whatever, in which nobody's like that one person out in the supermarket with an NC Fit Club shirt is not going to do anything for us, but it's just exposure and it's just fun and it makes them engaged and it builds that relationship with them. It makes you a little bit of money. And it's just, you just kind of have to think outside the box and just keep it constantly changing.
But what's interesting is we kind of got the idea, but we had several customers ask us, hey, do you have any NC Fit Club gear? And we're like, no, but like, why would you want that? I mean, that was our thoughts. We're like, why would you want some, we just never thought of that. And, their reasoning was, oh yeah, we live here and we just want to represent. And I just think that's great. Like, if you don't want to coach, that's great, but you can.
But think about what that represents. If you've got somebody in Minnesota, for example, that wants to buy an NC Fit Club shirt, and they say things like, and they did, several of them have said, we want to buy something just to represent. Like, that tells you that you're doing the right things. And I'm not trying to brag on us. I'm just saying that that's evidence that you're doing the right things, that where they feel a connection with you. And these people in our challenge groups, the Sean T challenge group and the accountability group too, those people have been in there since Max 30 came out, since December. So we're going on 6.5 months and they're still going strong. I've never seen 2 challenge groups last this long. And I think it's because those people genuinely have bought into each other and they have formed this relationship. Plus we keep adding new blood and we just keep doing what we do. And it's just finally starting to click. And I just, I just think you got to be real. The last thing I'm going to say, and then I'm going to shut up and we'll open it up to whatever you guys want to talk about, is I had a very interesting text conversation back and forth with Gina McKinney this morning. And she said something that bears repeating. She's been to 1 or 2 summits. How many? I know it's at least 2, maybe 3 summits. 2 summits. This will be her 3rd.
Yes.
She's probably on you. And Gina was in that group. It starts with Diamond, and she was busting her ass to get to Diamond so she could win a part of that pot. And it just didn't. It wasn't in the cards. It didn't work out. She got really, really close. She's literally only 3 coaches away. She's gonna hit it. But her text to me was, this is the 3rd summit or whatever. This is the 2nd or 3rd summit, and I'm still not a Diamond coach, and that this is unacceptable and this and that. But what she doesn't realize, and what I was trying to remind her of this morning, is don't get so hung up on rank, but look at your business as a whole. Are your checks getting bigger? And also keep in mind that this is the driest part of the year. Not only dry, meaning heat and drought in summer. I'm talking dry because summer is the slowest time of the year for this business. So like for us, it's slower than it was in the spring and winter and fall, but it's still better than it was last year. And that's your measuring stick. So like, even if you're going to summit and your rank hasn't changed, because honestly, my rank is the same as it was at last summit. It's going to change by the end of the year. I know it will, because I know there's a couple of coaches that are going to pop Diamond, Gina being one of them. So I'm not worried about it. I'm not stressing that I'm going to summit the same rank as last year and that I'm not going to get a medal that says I advanced a rank. I don't care about that. What I care about is my checks have grown. And that's what matters. Beachbody's real sometimes bad about, really pushing the rank. And it's like people get so caught up in rank and so caught up in the fact that corporate knows who they are and all that other crap. And I'm going to tell you, at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is your checks, how many zeros it has, and is it getting bigger? And is it doing what you need to do?
That's what I was going to say. More importantly, are those checks making a difference in your life? Because it doesn't matter if that's $500, $100, $10,000. Exactly. As long as it's making the difference you need, nothing else matters.
Man, I love the way you just said that.
Well, you're a Diamond coach.
Y'all need to write that down. Like, that needs to be something that you read every time you get discouraged, because I love the way he just said that. Say that again.
She's put me on the spot. Go watch it again. No, guys, just that it doesn't matter how much money or what, or it doesn't matter about all that. And I'll put it in terms right now to be realistic. Beachbody has been that saving grace for me that has always helped me provide. I know I'm in control of what I can try to achieve, and that by my own efforts, I'm going to have an outcome. If I don't do those efforts, I'm not going to have that outcome. But at the end of the day, as long as Beachbody is doing what it needs to do to make that difference in your life, whether it's $100, $500, or $10,000, that's all the difference it makes. And I'll be honest with you, I've been up and down in rigs so much, like the yo-yo is freaking broken. I'm building 2 accounts at the same time, and I got to focus on one. And, shit happens, this, that. I get distracted. But at the end of the day, my checks don't change that much, even though I just went from diamond to emerald. Just like that, 1 week. And I can't change it because I can't tell someone to do what they need to do. That's their decision. I can't make them do it, but I'm still here. My checks have always kept growing. I'm happy with it, and it's making the difference in my life where my family is comfortable.
And I will be completely open and honest with you guys. It was funny. She and I were talking about this on the way home from Fit Club last night. And it's like, a week or so ago, I told you guys not to get caught up in the comparison game, but just to show you that these struggles never go away. We just had this conversation last night. Like, we got back from Phoenix last Monday, and like, for whatever reason, like, I got into a major funk. A lot of it had to do with my arm. But then the injury put me into a funk. And then when I got into that funk, I let other things affect me. And so like when I hear about coaches hitting the millionaire club and certain coaches that just get under my skin, star diamond coaches and this and that. And it's like, when it's somebody that I don't personally respect and admire, it bugs me. Because it's like, oh, and then I let it do the same thing to me that y'all let it do to you. I let it sit there and kind of get me down. And she and I were just saying last night, it's like, oh, maybe we're not as good as them, or maybe. And then I'm like, what? And then I have to remind myself it doesn't matter. And it's like, it's funny because we sit here and tell you don't compare yourself, and then less than a week or two later, we do it ourselves. You're never going to outgrow this stuff. It's just a matter of reminding yourself what's going on and how to stay out of it. And I told Gina this yesterday or today, like, she's really struggling right now. And I had to remind her that this is the hardest part of the year for Beachbody. And I told her, I said, when size comes out, her business is going to boom back up again, because size is going to be a nice injection of people, especially for women, that I think is going to help you guys really kind of get back out of the rut a little bit financially. And so it's like, you got to remember that these hard times, the times that really piss you off and make you feel like quitting, those are the moments that define you. Like, that's when, it's not when you go on stage, and like Gina was really adamant about wanting to walk across stage as a diamond coach or whatever. The walking across the stage is not the moment you arrive. It's this day right here when you're texting me and you're like, this sucks, my business isn't growing and I need money. That's the day that you arrive, because that's the day that you make the choice whether or not you're going to quit or you're going to power through the rut and the funk. And like, you have to power through it, and it makes you a better coach. It makes you appreciate things better when you actually do achieve them. So just keep that in mind when you guys are going through those struggles.
Well, and one more thing because I've had this conversation with Gina before, that you talk about comparing yourself to other people, that we've had conversations, because it's so easy to get up in the morning and get on Facebook and start scrolling through the news feed, and this coach is posting this and this coach is posting, and oh, look what she did this morning, and look what, well, nobody's really going to care what I have to say, so I'm just not going to post anything. And Gina and I have had this conversation because I'm guilty of it too. I go through things like that, and I've told Gina, don't look at what everybody else is posting. You post what you feel like you need to post and what you want to post, and then you can look at everybody else. Because if you look at what everybody else is posting, your brain is going, yeah, well, their stuff's cooler than mine. Nobody's going to want to see what I post.
Yeah.
And you can't do that. Just go with your gut, post it. Somebody's going to see it. And not everybody's like that. Not everybody gets wrapped up in that. I just know some people. Obviously, this is a conversation Gina and I've had. So.
Yeah, and the last thing I'll add to that, and I promise we're going to open it up to questions, so I hope you guys got questions, is that I see some coaches, and I'll just say, I know Adrian can handle this, so I'll use him as an example. And I'm not saying he's doing this. The thought crossed my mind this morning when I was talking to him, and I didn't say anything to him then, but I'm going to put it out there now. And I know he's watching this or listening to it. Like, it's easy to keep getting ready to get ready. And I'm not saying he's doing this, but one of the things that made me think about it was I was talking to him this morning, and he was like, yeah, I'm on YouTube and I'm watching all these coaches and I'm finding all these and I'm looking at what these coaches are doing. I'm looking at what these coaches are doing. And he may not be doing it as much as it sounded like when he was telling me about it. But it made me think about this because a lot of coaches like to sit there and examine everybody else's battle plan, and they continue to do that and they never come up with their own. And it's like, it's great to look at cross-line coaches and listen to corporate and go in the back office and look at this and look at that, look at this. But if you're not actually coming up with a plan of execution, which goes back to every call we've done over the last 6-7 weeks, which has been nothing but building your plan. If you don't have a plan and you're not executing it, you're just getting ready to get ready. And you need to quit doing that and actually jump off the stool and get going. So like, don't get caught up in what everybody else is doing. Don't compare. Well, it's just, That's what I wanted to say, just in case there's coaches out there that feel like they may be doing that.
Good book, The Dip, Seth Godin, How to Survive a Dip. Seth Godin, The Dip.
Why do I know that name, Seth Godin?
It was at Summit 2 years. Remember this guy?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, the guy with the glasses.
Yeah, that's right. Who's the keynote speaker at Summit this year?
It's split.
Of course.
I'll tell you in a second.
Does anybody have any questions or anything? Anybody want to ask a question or whatever?
Anything at all. I'll tell you what my shoe size is.
Seriously? Nobody has a question?
Is that Derek? Was he the one?
Derek was the one that was asking. I think we covered. Derek, if we need to, did we cover the whole Amazon thing for you? You can nod if you want, or thumb up, thumb down.
Oh.
Well,
sorry.
You just figured out
the guest speaker at Summit this year is Simon Sinek.
Oh, okay, cool.
He's really good.
Unmute. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. No, everything's good. My biggest thing was I had one lady at work. I was talking with Johnny about this week. It was like, oh my gosh, man, I've been working on her for weeks, and she told me this week, she said, well, I need to talk to you, but don't be mad. I said, okay. She said, I bought Brazil Butt Lift. And I'm like, great. One, who buys that program anymore? And two, we've been working together for 3 years, So I was like, so I'm kind of working on that deal, getting her on board. And there was another lady, she's bought a program, Shakeology and whatnot through me, and got a challenge group running right now. She was like, I didn't want to be late to it. So I ordered off the infomercial and paid for him to get it here, blah, blah, blah. So she's doing the payment plan. So it's just like a couple things, I'm not setting any records in sales. That's for sure. But I've got a lot of things in the funnel right now where it's looking like it could be a pretty good next month or so. So things are moving forward. It's just, it's that little hiccup that just,
Where's the girl?
that close, man, that close. But the month's not over yet, so we'll see what we can do.
Where did she buy Brazil Butt Lift from?
She bought it from Beachbody, not Team Beachbody, but Beachbody.
Did she do the payment plan on that?
She's paid in full now. And Alicia, I used your script that you had, we talked about on Facebook. And when she sent the email in, she said that she got an email right back from them saying, we can't find your account.
So, all right, what happened?
So
basically, she sent in an email to change over to have me listed as her coach.
When she bought Brazil Butt Lift?
I would say maybe a week or two ago, because she just started it this week. So
from the email,
backtrack shipping probably 2 weeks ago.
Did she send it from the email that she used when she bought it online?
That I can't confirm.
So that's the question. Because
go ahead.
No, because it needs to be sent from that email that she used when she signed up for the account originally when she brought Brazil Butt Lift.
So
yeah, she may have called it in. I think she said she saw an infomercial. So
all right, so here's what you do. Do this. Find out what email, ask her what email address she gave them. And
okay.
Is she a customer of yours now?
No, we're trying to get her switched over. Or get me to be her coach. So
But that script was for people to switch over to you as a customer in any existing order, meaning Shakeology, if that renews, not necessarily a program that they've bought.
okay.
So that's where you were going to.
Yeah. So, all right, there's a couple of things that you guys need to remember when you run into cases like this. Number one, as soon as you start working with somebody, whether they're going to buy something or not, have them sign up for a free account with you as soon as possible. So because here's what happens. If they have a free account with you, and then this happens all the time, they go to beachbody.com and order it, or they go to the infomercial or call the phone number, whatever. As long as if you call Coach Relations and you say, here's this person's order number, here's their email address, they are my customer, I need you to move this over to my account and give me credit for it. That's all the proof you need, because you can verify, because if you have the order number, which the customer can give you, and then you have their email address that's linked to their Team Beachbody account, when Coach Relations pulls those two up, they're going to see that it's the same person, and they will move the order over to you. The other thing is, when you have somebody, and this is the biggest one of all of them, because we just ran into this, when somebody comes to you and says, hey, I want to switch over to you as my coach, and you give them that script that Alicia sent you, which is basically, it says you send it to Coach Relations at teambeachbody.com. It basically says, please move and this is the important part, but this is also the part that doesn't get done, is it said, you say, please move they write this in, please move my account and any current orders over to Coach Derek Davis, ID, blah, blah, blah. Thank you. And it's got to have their name on it, and it's got to be from the email address that's linked to their Team Beachbody account. So once that happens, unfortunately, Coach Relations doesn't always switch over the Shakeology order that they have on AutoShip over to you. So, like, if you find somebody that does that,
which we did last
week.
We
just found this person last week that he switched over us as a customer
a long time ago.
2 months ago, and he's been on Shakeology his entire life, still on it, and they never switched his damn order over. So, like, they've been that's months of $30 commissions that we didn't get. So if you run across somebody that says that, ask them if they're on Shakeology HD. Ask them what they're using. And then once you get and then when they send that email in, tell them to send you the reference number, because when they email that into Coach Relations, they get an automatic reply back with an incident number. You call Coach Relations and you say, here's an incident number. I need you guys to go ahead and execute it. And they can go ahead and switch it over right there on the spot. Then, while you're on the phone with them, you say, by the way, this person has a Shakeology order. I need to please make sure you switch that over to me as well. So you kind of have to just kind of cover your bases a little bit and really watch out for that stuff, because it can cost you a lot of money down the road.
Yeah.
Like, people don't, like, we wouldn't have known. Like, we had our neighbor order 21-day fix, and it wasn't showing up. And we knew she was already linked to us. So it was just like calling customer service and going, or Coach Relations and saying, this is our neighbor, this is her address, like, this is our customer. And I don't know how that happens or what happens, but it's really frustrating. I get it.
But again, it's just like Craigslist and Amazon. Look, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to be as blunt as I can. Coach Relations is going to drive you batshit crazy for the rest of your life. Just learn to deal with – no, actually, here's your motivation. Go 5-star, and you'll never deal with it again. Once you go 5-star, you get VIP Coach Relations, and those people, nothing against the regular Coach Relations, but those people are a level above, and they get crap right and they get crap done. So if anything, and John will tell you, if anything will motivate you, if you've ever been on a call with me, when I call Coach Relations for you, you know what I'm talking about. They speak English, they're not from India, and they get shit done. So, like, and if you run into problems with Coach Relations, let us know. But I'm just telling you, it's going to be a fact of life. You just have to accept. I wish I could say it's not, but it's just one of those things that you just have to kind of bear with and just deal with until hopefully they get stuff figured out. Anybody else? Or Derek, did that help you? All right. Anybody else?
Yeah, I have a question.
Sure.
Piggybacking on what you just mentioned, I have a potential customer that said I guess they watched the 21 Day Fix infomercial, and obviously it's on sale this month. And they said, why would I buy it? And I guess I got it. They said, why would I'd rather buy it off the infomercial because it's cheaper than buying it through you because it's more expensive. I haven't really seen the infomercial to find out if it's cheaper because I guess they went by the payments, $39.95 or something like that. But from what you just said, if I have them sign up as me under me as their coach, and I say I'm not sure, and I say go ahead and go buy it from the infomercial, then I just got to do basically what you just mentioned.
Yeah, but you're gambling a little bit because if they do the payment plan, you're screwed.
Yeah.
And
unless they want to pay in full.
Yeah, in 30 days. I mean, they have to pay full in 30 days, and most people aren't. If they're doing the payment plan, they're not paying full in 30 days.
Well, and don't you get a bonus DVD when you buy it from a coach?
I can tell you right now, it's the same price. Basically, it's the same price as if they bought it from you, but you're trying to sell them the challenge pack. So the challenge pack is more because it's bundled with Shakeology. The price of the DVD program is the same as if they bought the DVD program from you. The advantage, because everybody can't undersell us. The advantage is that and this is something you guys need to remember, is that as a Team Beachbody coach, there's always a Team Beachbody exclusive workout that's a bonus workout included for free when they buy it through a coach. So you'll notice it, like when you look at some of your programs, it'll say free gift from your coach or an exclusive gift from your whatever, meaning they can't get that off the infomercial. So that's one of the biggest things I would point out to them is like, hey, if you buy this from the infomercial or the website, you're going to get assigned a coach regardless, and it's going to be somebody you don't know. You already know me. Plus, if you buy it through me, you're going to get a bonus workout that you're not going to get if you buy it from the infomercial. And, yes, I can't offer you a payment plan, but I can hook you up with some swag, or I can hook you up with this, or I'll send you some E&E samples or whatever. I mean, be creative on something and think outside the box.
And the other thing too is, and a lot of you new coaches may not know, but when a new program comes out, say like Size, for the first week, sometimes 2 weeks,
it's network
exclusive. So when someone wants Size, they have to they cannot order it from beachbody.com. They have to order it from a coach.
Okay. All right.
It's an advantage to kind of, hey, this is network exclusive, and it kind of gives you a little bit of an upper hand. Hopefully that helps.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, man. And and it's got the same money back guarantee as if they bought it from Beachbody or whatever.
Okay.
Now, do we get cheaper shipping and handling with us, or not anymore?
Yes, thank you for saying that. Let me tell you another little trick that they do on the infomercials. On the infomercials, it says if you buy it today, we'll upgrade your shipping to express shipping. Guess what? It's the same shipping as if they bought it from you. When you buy it through a coach, you actually get it. Most of the time, you get it in less than 5 days. You get it in like 2 to 3, 4 days.
The infomercial says 3 to 5 days.
Yeah, the infomercial says 3 to 5 days. It's normally faster through Team Beachbody than it is through the infomercial. But yeah, that's a little smoke and mirror thing.
Hey, Alicia.
Yes.
I got a question about, will we know in advance whether Size is going to be network exclusive?
Yes, we'll probably find out.
At Summit.
Because I'd like to promote that to people that before,
John, don't you agree? 100% of the time, it's normally network exclusive for at least a week or two.
Normally, almost 100% of the time, it's always. Most things are that way.
Yeah.
I'm actually trying to look it up right now because I don't remember seeing that, and usually they let us know ahead of time.
Yeah, and Max 30 was like that. Like most programs are they not?
Max 30 was like that. It was at least a week.
And I felt like 21 Day Fix was. I feel like they are, but.
And if you're going to Summit, you're going to be able to buy Size at Summit. So you can actually buy it, put it in your suitcase, and bring it home with you, and not have to wait for it to be mailed to you. while you're looking that up, John, there was one thing that Carrie posted in the NC Fit Club page that I wanted to address real fast. Even Alicia addressed it because we were actually laying on the couch together and we both read it. And I was basically like, she and I were talking and she's like, okay, what'd you say? And she was basically writing what I was saying, which was kind of, thank you for doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But like me, it was you knew what to say, but we were just comparing how we
I
were
just
going to
wanted to make sure the words were correct.
But like Carrie talked about how this past weekend she was around a bunch of friends and family and she was talking to them about Shakeology and how discouraging it was that they didn't want to do it and they were getting the price objection and this and that. And I just want you to I want you guys to remember that it's easy to get hung up on that and get discouraged because these are families and friends that you would think are there to support you. And it's like the people that you expect to support you and then sometimes they don't. That's just going to happen. And it's not a reflection on you. It's not a reflection on your ability to form or your ability to coach or whatever. It's just not going to be for everybody. So even though it hurts the most coming from family and friends that you thought would do it, don't let that get you down. Because like we said in that post, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. You can't say the right thing to the wrong person. So just, you know.
And I mean, if somebody's making their own shakes and they're happy with that, then great. It's not like you're never going to be able to convince. Sometimes you just cannot convince people.
Nope.
And I mean, this is probably not the best scenario, but some people are just stuck on products. You might be one of those people that I use this certain toilet tissue and I'm not using anything no matter what you tell me. Like my mom uses Dawn dish detergent and you cannot convince her that any other dish detergent is going to do as good as Dawn. Like I'm not. There's just no point. Right. So it's kind of the same thing when it comes to Shakeology. Like if they're got their shake that they like or whatever they're doing.
Like you're never going to convince John Monroe that there's another pre-workout besides pre-gym.
You know, there's options, but I mean, people waste their money on stuff that's ineffective due to having niacin for tingles. I'm just saying, science.
There's a prime example.
I knew that would get a rise.
Point proven.
Any other questions? Did you find anything on the pre-sale?
No, they don't have anything up on it. But like you said, they should announce something typically that week as it comes out when it gets really close, which, again, is in 3 weeks. So.
You make any questions, Pat? Did you want to ask?
C4 is the best pre-workout I found yet.
But you need to cycle off of C4, please. Please. Read about it.
Oh, anyway.
And my neighbor, he went to something else other than Shakeology. Too expensive.
Oh, man. All right, anybody else got any other questions? Carrie, are you still on here? Did we help you with that? Or Megan, did we answer your question about the promotions and stuff?
Yeah, I'm here, Todd. It was almost like, it didn't hurt my feelings. It's like people bring it up to me, and then, like, I don't know how to respond.
Like, what do they bring up to you?
Like, these are people that have purchased Shakeology through me, and, just because they know I'm into Beachbody, whatever, like, they bring it up and just start telling me that it's too much money and they're making their shake. And so I'm just like, whatever, that's cool,
Your closest family, friends, and coworkers will do that. Trust me. I work with 18 women, and there's not a week that goes by that there's not some comment about some greatest, latest diet out there that's going to help them lose weight. And I just keep my mouth shut. You go ahead and let me see how that works for you. Don't say a word.
Yeah,
I'll give you an example with me.
I was going to say too, like, I kind of find people like project on. Maybe I feel like they're projecting on me. Like I went to my first softball game last night, and I must have had 3 people come up to me and tell me I was skinny, like almost like I was too skinny. And I'm like, I don't know how to respond to that. I don't think I'm too skinny. Like I feel great, but it's like they're projecting almost about themselves. But I just kind of lack what to respond to these people.
That they're totally projecting on you.
Yes.
That's all it is.
And Courtney Tucker, I know she's kind of went through that too.
Yeah, we talked about that 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Anything else, or are you good? What does that say? Derek, what does that say?
True story.
Haters.
Oh, haters. And the haters gonna hate. Oh God! And the fact that I know that song. All right.
What were you gonna say, John?
I was Carrie. I mean, I had a lot of stuff like my mother-in-law just hired a personal trainer, and I'm like, oh, seriously, people? And then I'm like,
You know how many degrees I have?
Do you not know who I am? Courtney, were you getting ready to say something?
Yeah, I was. I do have a question.
Sure.
Okay. Mine is about how you handle trying to recruit new coaches in your challenge group when those people in the challenge groups are the ones who are referring you most of your people right now. Like, they were the ones, like, I'm not getting a whole lot of new people on my end. I'm doing a lot of communication, but a lot of people are telling me right now they're waiting until July 4th. The magic time right now is they want to wait till vacation, July 4th. They're either leaving, so they don't want to get something in the mail while they're gone, or they don't have time to start it yet. They want to focus on it. So I'm getting a lot of hesitation right now. And I'm also trying to make sure I have enough people that I want to ask about size for, instead of trying to go for another 21-day fix or trying to get, more people on the extreme since we've moved to that. But I have, someone in particular, I've got one girl who has referred me a ton of people. She's doing a great job. She's inspiring a lot of people, making a lot of posts. I mean, she's kind of taken over a good bit of the group because she's a stay-at-home mom. She responds to all the questions before I do, and she's so good at it. But I've got a bunch of her people, So how do you handle that when you want to recruit somebody, but they've actually referred a bunch of their own people to you?
So you could look at it two ways. You could look at it as, I could sign this person up. I already have one coach underneath me. So by signing her up, I'm going to go Emerald, which everything that she is selling, because obviously she's giving you a lot of stuff. So those people might remain yours, or they might switch to her. And that's going to create volume for you. It's kind of a
before you even get to that decision, I would flat out I would just go to her, and it sounds like you have a good enough relationship with her if she's referring people to you. I would go to her and say, hey, I just want to put this out there. You realize that you could be making money off of these people that you're referring me to. Does that interest you? Like, would you want to team up with me and become a coach, and we'll run these test groups together, and then you can be making money off these programs instead of sending me the money? And if she says yes, then it's then great. Then she becomes a coach. Some people just don't want to do it. Some of y'all know this girl, Jackie Friedland. Is that her name? Is it Jackie Stone Friedland? It's in our challenge groups. She refers a bunch of people to us. And every time I've tried to talk to her about coaching, I'm like, girl, you need to be a coach. You're already doing it. Like, I've used all those lines, like, you're already doing it. You could be making money on this. You're sending me money. And she just doesn't want to do it. And so I'm like, okay. And then you just have to be okay with the fact that she's going to be one of these amazing people that's going to send you a lot of referrals. And like, people like that, you just try to take care of them. Send them a little something in the mail every week. And then, but I would just flat ask her and just present it to her, and she's either going to say yes or no. And then and then if she says yes, I say sign her up.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've asked her twice already, and this girl in particular, she says no, but she's like, no, I'm good. She's like, but I'm your biggest fan. I'll keep sending them your way. So I don't know because you know how you said that you were approached 6 times. I was, I held out for a few years. Right. So I don't know if her time will ever come up, because she's just that good. She's doing that good. Because she's just very organized, got the time to do it, really, really enjoying it. She's making posts on her own Facebook and on our challenge group. So she's just doing everything, and she's doing so good. But I'm talking about like 15 people in like a month that she has sent to me. I'm talking about a bunch.
Have you sent her a maybe like introducing Team Beachbody from the back office, like just explaining the coaching opportunity? Because maybe she doesn't understand. Maybe she just thinks, maybe she doesn't need the money, but maybe she doesn't know what the coaching opportunity is. So I would send her that video. You could send her the short version. It's in the back office. You could type it in under I think it's on that first page under the videos, hit English, and it's somewhere in there. And just say, hey, this is like 7 minutes. Just watch it. I was thinking about you, and I know I've asked you a couple times, but does this spark any interest for you?
I like the fact that you brought up the Monica example of asking 6 times. When you said that, I was like, oh, crap, you're right. I would – like, how close are you with her?
My cousin's wife.
Oh, your husband's wife? What? Oh, I thought you said your
Cousin.
husband's wife. I'm like, wait a minute, that's you. Your cousin's wife. All right. I would say I would have a heart-to-heart with her. I'm sorry, it's been a day. I would have a heart-to-heart with her and just be whenever it feels appropriate, I would keep bringing it up. And I would almost ask her at some point, what is it? Because I think she obviously buys into the whole coaching thing. She's basically doing everything but making the money. And there's something that's wanting to do it.
And it could be a person, she may feel like she's not a coach material physically herself. It could be the
anti-MLM thing. It could be lack of confidence in herself. It could whatever. And I would just ask her, I'd be like, what is it that's keeping, because I can tell you're into this and you're supporting me. What is it that's keeping you from wanting to be a coach? I'm just curious. And then find out what the objection is and then deal with it. And help her understand that it's not really a big of an objection. And then you can always tell her, like, look, give it a shot for 30 days. If you don't like it, you can cancel and you can still be a customer and go back to what you were doing.
Get your money back.
I mean, it's really not going to cost her anything because, like I say, she buys the challenge pack for size. When size comes out, because she's going to buy it anyway. If she's not on Shakeology right now, she could buy the challenge pack, be a freak, get a coach, not have to pay the $39. Try it out for a month or so, and then she can always cancel it. Meanwhile, she saved money on her Shakeology if she stays on it, and maybe she makes a couple of bucks or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, the funny thing is that she is such a cheapskate, I guess, and she is very savvy and very frugal because she is a stay-at-home mom, so her husband's the only one that works. She got the 21-day fix, just the regular. She wouldn't do the Shakeology or anything. But she actually, if you laughed about it, she said she pulled an arm the other day, and she made a video of all, because she had so many of her people sign up that she made a video of herself of her prepping and her planning and all of her boxes. But unfortunately, she wasn't like, all right, so here's my morning Shakeology. She, showed her protein that she uses. And then fortunately, I'm pumping them up for, I get up so early in the morning. I'm like, all right, my Enie's waking me up. That's how I'm getting up and doing this cardio this morning. No, she's like, no, must be sore. What I use, so she's not promoting the products that I'm trying to promote, that I know that work, that I know that are working for me, and I want people to have the same experience. So she promotes her own stuff. So she hasn't bought anything else. She does want to get size, but she went to the extreme. She told me she posted on the group how exciting it was that she got the extreme. And I said, wait a minute. I don't see where you got the extreme. No, she had a friend order the extreme for her so that they switched. Her friend did the original and she got to do the extreme. So she won't even order anything else. But I'm not making any money off of her, but I am off of all of her referrals.
What's her personality type? What's her gym? Is she Emerald?
She's very analytical, very got to have the facts, very got to have it. No, but she's also
Emerald
very fun. It's also got to be fun too.
Ooh, so how could be she can't be Emerald?
Kind of weird.
Yeah, because there's a little bit of Ruby. Like I heard John say Ruby. She's probably
Emerald Ruby.
Emerald Ruby, because if she's that analytical. So then here's a pop quiz question, Courtney. How do you present the business to an Emerald?
She's like, it's too late for this.
Good gracious. I got to go to bed.
Send her that to introduce you to you.
Dave. John, help her. Tell her how to present it to an Emerald.
Straight up facts, very bullet pointed, cadence. So, if you're looking at trying to be a Beachbody coach, you would look at how you're going to be able to make money, how you're going to present the business, how you're going to benefit from it, and how we're going to get moving forward. Everything is very set up. Like technically people tell you do things in threes. Find out what 3 things you want to present about. Have 3 supporting facts for that. What are they looking at? How are the numbers going to work for her? How does compensation plan work for her? I know. Stop laughing, guys. It's ridiculous.
But if she's that much of a cheapskate, then money's definitely a big issue for her. So
And
figure
she's a
out.
stay-at-home mom, so you could find out like how would she feel if she was just bringing in a little bit of something to the home
Or
with her husband working. Like,
John, tell me if this wouldn't work. As an emerald, what if Courtney presented her with every single dollar that she could have made, that Courtney has made, had she been a coach?
Oh God, I would switch right there. But
Right.
you just told me I just paid you $365 for that. You gotta be kidding me.
right.
And that's not returning Shakeology customers. That's not Success Club bonuses. That's not new customers coming into me. Again, numbers. How can I improve quantities?
What do you think, Court?
Think I'll do some more talking. So what's the benefit of adding a coach versus keeping someone like a very good customer? Because I've got another person who's a really good customer, and they're on Shakeology, and they do get programs. They do the on demand. Like, so I have all that stuff, but that person, all that's going to go away if they become a coach. I don't get any of that anymore.
No,
That's a personal decision right there, because you can look at, I can break it down to numbers for you. The customer, you're going to make more money. As a coach, you're going to have more cycle bonuses, but that's going to be about half commission from what you're getting as a customer. So just think of it that way, half the commission if they become a coach. But if that coach is helping you rake advance, or if you're already at a cycle bonus ceiling and you're not making any more money because you're only emerald and you're capped out at $250 a week, then yeah, get that person to be a coach, because now you're going to open up yourself for more opportunities. And that's where you got to play the game with yourself. What is more important to you, to make more money or to advance? And what is that going to mean for your personal life each month, your family and stuff like that?
because in the grand scheme of things, Courtney, it's like there's a fine line between, you have to walk a line between recruiting and retail. If it's somebody that's a large retail customer and you're making a ton of commission off of it, I wouldn't convert them to a coach unless you absolutely need that coach to help move to the next step. You want to advance rank to diamond so that you can start to build 2-star and 5-star, because if you can get to 2 and 5-star, you're getting quarterly bonuses, and you're talking about, a 2-star bonus is about $1,000 a quarter, so that's a $4,000 pay raise. A 5-star bonus is around $3,000 to $4,000, so that's a $12,000 raise. So like, there's reasons to rank advance for the dollar amount rather than for the recognition. And so it's like you're going to end up having the majority of your coaches are going to be wholesale coaches just to help you fill in the blanks. And out of those 20 coaches, 2 to 3 to 5 of them are going to be actual builders. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's like it's almost like John was saying, it's a per case basis. You kind of have to examine, each person's going to be different. It depends on where you are at in the business at that particular time. And
are you a husband and wife team? Because I'll tell you right now, the way I structured my business is completely different than most people do. And I do things differently to make money because of how mine is set up.
Right. And we did the same thing kind of in y'all's situation. I remember doing the same thing.
Yeah, but John did it backwards. He had to be a Ruby and do it his own way.
No, but they're running stuff through Debbie.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Before you had your second business center, we ran stuff through me.
Yeah. John's not smiling anymore.
Oh no, I'm just waiting.
Court, does that help you?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, because that's the two things I've been thinking about lately is how am I going to recruit people that have already referred me a bunch of people and they're probably going to take them, or how do I do it to people who actually are really good customers? So that's the two things I've been thinking on.
Gina struggled with this too, because obviously Gina was like, I need the money, and I don't want this person as a customer because I need this $30 as a coach because I need this $30 a month. And exactly what I told her, if this person is wanting to be a coach, you sign them up as a coach, but guess what then you've got to do? You need to find somebody to replace that $30. So you've got to work a little harder, and you've got to find somebody to replace that.
Because let me show you this, Courtney, because is your husband still awake?
No.
He's in the bed.
All right, let me tell you something. Whether he wants to work the business or not, you need to sign. When you already have one coach already, I would sign your husband up and just you work he's not going to work the business. But if you're a husband and wife team, and we've talked about this in genealogy before. So like if this is you, this is your other coach over here, and this is your husband. Once a husband and wife team, when you sign up your husband, then you can start retailing through him. So like basically it's still you, but you're just sending everybody to his site so that he's making the commission. But then the volume rolls up to your business center, which goes towards your cycle bonuses. But now where this gets tricky is this person is usually the one that's going for Success Club because this is the main business entity. So like if you're going for the cruise or you're going for Success Club or you're going for this, so there's a fine line that you can get caught up in between Success Club points here. So it's like, and Lillian deals with this a lot. It's like you have to do enough here to hit Success Club 5 or 10 or whatever your goal is, but then everything else goes through here. So like if it was a challenge pack sale, you could run the challenge pack sale through here just to get the Success Club points. If it's somebody that's just buying E&E, you run it through here. If it's somebody that's just going to buy the program, you run it through here. On demand, run it through here. Anything that gets you challenge pack or Success Club points, run it through this just to get what you need for Success Club, then run everything else through here. Because this is basically double dipping. You're getting retail and volume. And then that's how you start building this thing, because then you start getting some wholesale coaches, and then you find a couple of builders. Next thing you know, you're diamond. Does that make sense? And then you have control over your husband's account. So like your husband can be one of your emeralds because you can sign the coaches that he needs. So if you've got 2 discount coaches, like another family member, you can put 2 coaches under him to make him emerald. There's one of your emeralds. Then you get your other coach that's on fire and you help her go emerald, and you're diamond, just like that. Then your cycle bonuses go from $14 to $18 a cycle bonus. So it's $4 pay raise for every cycle bonus, which where you're at right now is not going to be a lot because you don't have a ton of volume. But if you set this up now, then over time it's going to pay dividends down the road. Because when that volume starts to grow, then it's like, because 4 years from now, 5 years from now, you can be making thousands of dollars a week just off of cycle bonuses, and so will he. So will his business center, because, you'll continue to grow, and that's a whole nother lesson, but that's just the basics of it. As far as why, if I was you, I'd at least sign him up if you're financially okay with paying the extra $15 or whatever it takes to keep him active. But think about this: if you're selling through him, as long as you're selling 50 PV through him every 5 weeks, he's going to stay active off of retail. So like you wouldn't have to do another Shakeology order through him unless both of you are drinking it. And that's kind of where Adrian was asking that question today. Should I go ahead and sign my wife up? And I told him no, not until he signs up another coach, because otherwise there's no reason to spend the money. You, on the other hand, already have a coach. Oh, wow, I heard an echo. So then if you sign yourself up or sign your husband up, then you're emerald like that. And then
they don't have to sell. They don't have to purchase anything through that account. Anything they sell will activate the personal volume for 50 PV.
Yeah.
So as long as they're selling through there, they're always going to be active. And it doesn't matter if that person goes inactive because they can't make cycle bonuses because they're not emerald. That's the only thing that matters.
Yeah, that's what I was saying a second ago. So you wouldn't even have to do Shakeology unless both of you were drinking it. Then, you could do it through both business centers.
I have another question real quick.
Yeah.
How we were talking earlier about if I not to sign my wife up until I have another coach. What if I have a Shakeology customer now that is probably going to be taking Shakeology, for a long time to come because of what they're saying and what their results are getting? Would I want to try and sign them up as a coach on one of my legs and then my wife on the other leg? Or should I wait till I have a strong coach that's going to drum up business? How do you handle that?
My answer, and John can disagree, or John can tell you if he disagrees, which is fine. My answer would be, if that person's going to be a wholesale, if they're interested in being a wholesale coach, I'd go ahead and sign them, because the sooner you get to emerald, the sooner you can start building those cycle bonuses. Because I'd have to look at where you're at because you're one of my coaches. But your wife is going to go on your weak leg or your inside leg. Your wholesale coach is going to go on this leg that already has a bunch of people on it.
Yeah.
So I would get him down there, or where he or she or whoever it is, get your wife signed up immediately afterwards, and then I would start building this weak leg because there's already going to be volume over here. And then you put your wife over here and you start getting some other coaches as you bring them in. You start building this weak side, and then you're going to start making $14 here, $14 here, and it's just it begins the snowball effect.
Then focus on Success Club because then you'll get the customer leads being enrolled.
Yeah, and you still want to get that's where you're going to get into a tricky situation where you're still going to want to hit Success Club so that you're getting customer leads, but you want to still retail through her so you can double dip. So I mean, as a married couple, it's like it's a great thing, but it's also a tricky thing. But I've seen married. What are you laughing, John?
Yeah, because it is tricky. I mean, I go back and forth in different situations because it will change within the year what is more beneficial. And then, I pick something for Success Club. Is that still where I want to go? And again, it's got to be what's in line with your priorities and goals, and is that outcome acceptable?
Like for the cruise and for Disney trips and things like that, I've watched married couples. And we did this one time for the Bahamas trip. And let me tell you something. You want to talk about stressing yourself.
We wanted to both hit Success Club to get 2 rooms.
So we could qualify for 2 rooms in the Bahamas so that we could take the grandparents and they would have a free room and we'd have a free room.
And
so
we did it.
We did every single month. We made sure both business centers hit Success Club and we both got a free room. Now it's a lot of work. But it's still worth it if that's a goal for you to be able to go to your grandparents or your parents and say, hey, I want to take you on a cruise next year or to Bahamas next year, and I'm going to take you for free, your room's paid for. That's a pretty big why. And if that's a gift that you can give to them and it's worth putting in that work, then it's worth it.
Okay. Yeah, because I was thinking like strong leg, weak leg. My mindset was, okay, I want to get somebody on the strong leg that's going to drum up business. And I know, I'm pretty sure one of my Shakeology customers will like to get the discount because it's my cousin. And I know the way she is. She's all about saving. And she's a stay-home mom. So I was going to bring it up to her and say, how would you like to do this? Because she's always like looking for like side work and, just different little things because she stays home with the kids. And then she's actually doing so. She's on the on-demand Beachbody on Demand. She bought the challenge pack, so she does some of the workouts at home. So I was going to present her being a coach, so I get my wife to be the other coach, and I could be Emerald. But then I thought, okay, do I want to get somebody that's going to drum a business on a strong leg, and then my wife on the weak leg, and that's why I really haven't presented it to her yet. But I think you just answered my question.
Yeah.
Put your wife on the weak
Always
leg.
Put your spouse on the weak leg because
you have control over that.
Yeah.
You can build that yourself. You have control.
When you put your wife on the weak leg, that's automatically a builder because you have control over building it. Whether she's involved with it or not, it's yours to build, just like Courtney could build her husband.
I think you'd rather build your wife's business than your cousin's build.
So then put your cousin over here as a discount coach.
Yeah.
The next builder that you get, you definitely put them on the strong leg because you're going to need that person to go Emerald because your wife's going to go Emerald, and that's going to be your first step to Diamond. So you're going to be a builder on this leg, but you always want your spouse on the weak leg because that way the two of you build this side together because this is all you. Nobody's putting anybody over here except you and your wife. And when you eventually
their coaches.
And their coaches. When you eventually go 2-star, your second business center is 9 times out of 10 going to go on your weak leg. So like if down the road, if this is your second business center, then everything shifts down to here. So then instead of retailing here, you're retailing here. So this and plus these two combine for Success Club points. So any challenge pack sold here gives this business center Success Club points.
Oh, okay.
So you're not having to worry about that. See, that's the beauty. Like that's what John's talking about. Let's say within a year you go 2-star, it completely changes the rules. Now you don't really care so much about retailing through here. Everything goes through here because then the volume is going to hit your wife's account or husband's account and your first business center. But the Success Club points travel up to here. So now you're golden because anything you sell is going to get you Success Club points and you don't have to worry about what you put through your wife or what you don't. Does that make sense?
No.
Yeah. And being that she wants to take Shakeology, it's not going to be an issue because she's going to get the 90 PVs already, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'll stay active.
Yeah. Okay.
If you're just focusing on Success Club for you. You want to sell through here and here and not.
Yeah, but I'm saying happens,
Right.
it's a game between these two. But once the second business center comes into play, it makes it so much easier.
Right.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Cool.
Because, one of your diamonds on the way to 2-star could be your wife, which is where this is where the dilemma that John's in. It's like Debbie trying to keep Debbie diamond and him diamond. It's like once she goes diamond and he gets another diamond, then John's going to become 2-star. And then his situation, in my eyes, simplifies because then he opens up the second business center and now he's maximizing his checks even more.
Okay. Perfect. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Anybody else?
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
We talk too much.
Good questions. This was a long call, but it was worth it. And those of you that had to jump off, we get it. So hopefully you'll watch the recording. All right, guys. I guess we will see y'all next week. Anybody else? Are you good, John? You still there? I think he is. Is he? Oh, we lost John. All right, cool. Wow, then we definitely got to go because even John jumped off. All right, Court. Hope that helped. Everybody, hope you guys have an amazing night. Again, she'll be in charge this week because now that I know what's going on. Yeah, she's always in charge, but she'll be the person to talk to this week, and we will see you guys next week. Peace out.